Blue Lock Chapter 296 just dropped, and you know how it is, we're just gonna get straight into it. So we open up in the Uber's monitoring room, and Baru's kind of pulling like an Eisen pose, and he's thinking, Sendo and Aiko are in the back, they're freaking out, they're talking about how Isagi did it, Nico's kind of just aura farming. And may I remind you that Nico was actually the very first person in this entire series to aura farm. Yes, that is right, you can literally go back in the series and check chapter by chapter. I just reread, I can very much confirm this. Nico, out of everyone, was doing all this first. I don't know what the fuck he's been doing to deserve that, but Baru's thinking, and he whispers to himself, that's right, loser, just what I expect from you as the number one. So it seems like Baru is still kind of obsessed with Isagi being number one because he wants to beat him at his highest level, which, you know, I guess kind of makes sense, but like, you know, Baru's been saying this for like how long now? Like, he's been saying this for like this whole arc, the U20 arc, and the second selection when he got, like, he's been saying this the whole fucking series, man. But then we get the sick page of all the Blue Lock TV people watching and cheering on as Isagi's finally number one. They all exclaim it, and then we come back to Isagi, and he's thinking about how this feels so damn good, and he's recalling how he endured everything, and he adapted, and he crushed people with logic, and we've got the puzzle pieces floating around of fucking Noel, Noah, Kaiser, Loki, Rin, Ness, and he's talking about how right now he is the only person in the world who feels this way. He is the only one that is number one in this program with that 240 million salary. Wait a minute. But Isagi is completely enthralled in this, what he calls an ecstatic experience. I know in the fan scans they call it brain boil, but yeah, over here on this channel we use the official scans because we're, you know, we're bougie, we're proper like that. So, you know, he's talking about how every time he reaches his ultimate state, he updates himself again, and he wants to keep chasing this ecstasy that he's feeling. Because if he does, then being the world's best will be right around the corner. And he talks to himself wanting to keep going. But then we cut back to the Barcha vs. Manshine game, which I have thoughts on us seeing this game at all, but we'll save that for after the review. Bachira's talking about making it snappy and the monsters here. I don't know what the fuck is up with Bachira and this monster, bro. Like, he had the monster, then he killed the monster, then he had to bring it back out again on Chris Prince's words. And like, where's the monster? Like, you know, the monster's here. Where? I'm seeing a lot of white space. Where's this monster? Ryo's talking about some cut him off. They're panicking. Nagi, you know, he's kind of nonchalant doing his thing as usual. And then, you know, Bachira, he's breaking the laws of physics as he always does. Like, what the fuck was this? What? Like, I'm actually being so dead ass. What the fuck was this? And after creating a whole new branch of physics, Bachira kicks the shit out of the ball, just like Chigiri did, and scores a goal. Gets Nagi slipping up, looking embarrassed as hell. There was no warning sign there. You could probably sue Blue Lock for all the money in the world, bro. Look at that, how the fuck he slipped, bro. He probably broke like both of his ankles right there. That is actually embarrassing. And then we got Levino, probably the most forgettable master out of the entirety of Blue Lock. And then we got Chris Prince, who was already bitched by Isagi. So these are both like two frauds already, so nobody really cares about this. Okay, I'm kidding. Don't attack me. Don't attack me. We restart and we get some monologue from Nagi talking about how the situation is changing. And then Agi, he's still trying to like tell Nagi to concentrate. And Agi, I don't like, why? Well, I like, you know, I think I'm just pissed off that we're seeing this match. So I'm gripping on anything right now. Like this doesn't even matter. Like, their names being almost the same, like, isn't even like an actual criticism. So I don't know why I'm getting pissed about this. I think like Ryo's getting mad for me, and Nagi, he's still just monologuing. He's talking about how he hasn't done anything, and he's saying even an assist would be fine. An assist? Nagi Seishiro, an assist? Yeah, we have stooped far down from the revolver days. Jesus Christ. He just wants to do anything to boost his value. We get the 6 spread. I say 6 spread, but you know, let's be real. For Blue Lock standards, this is kind of on the lower end of quality. It's still pretty sick though. He proclaims that Ryo and him are gonna survive, and then we get a look at Don Lorenzo if he had a healthy diet. He's kind of tweaking the fuck out, and then Ryo and Nagi are doing their little 1-2 pass, and fucking Otoya, yes, out of all people, Otoya comes out of nowhere, and he's talking about that Nagi Ryo passing pattern. I've seen that shit more than my parents. Now if y'all don't know, Nagi Ryo, that's the ship name. Nagi Ryo, that's their ship name. Like, that's what, you know, people that want them to be kissing and shit, people that want them to, like, you know, be in the Blue Lock showers, like that's their ship name. And you know, in the fan scans, they didn't put in this arrow, they just left it as Nagi Ryo. So in this, putting in the arrow, I'm pretty sure that's something that the official scans just did on their own. So I'm pretty sure in the original Japanese, it probably just says Nagi Ryo, like, as their ship name, which I find it really funny that Kaneshiro just like officially acknowledged it. And you know, if you have a problem with that, then you can honestly just go fuck yourself. Their relationship literally stated left to be open to interpretation, so get over yourself. But anyways, Otoya, he sees through them, and he's talking about how he's not gonna fall for that move again. And Ryo and Nagi are tweaking about how he predicted that and how he cut in with a shadow run, that ninja shit. Yes, they're still riding on that ninja shit from fucking the 3rd selection with like the absolute worst animation of the game. You know what? when Otoya's on screen in the anime, it's genuinely some of the worst animation ever. So I don't know if this is like telling for season 3 or 4 whenever this match is happening, if we're just gonna get like some of the worst animation for this. You know, I wouldn't be surprised because this isn't even really that important of a match. I don't know, man. And Nagi's talking about how you can tell that Otoya and Bachira are at the top of their game. And you know, Bachira, we've seen Bachira work. Like, we know what Bachira looks like at the top of his game, and it's pretty scary stuff. Like, we can understand that Bachira's a threat here. Otoya, on the other hand, like, yeah, I don't. And Levino, he's passing it up and shit. And Otoya, he's giving Chris Prince some back shots. And Bachira goes in with an insane cross. And Nagi, he looks like Rayo just got killed in front of him. Because as the ball falls towards Otoya's legs, he chucks that shit straight into the goal, bro. Oh my god, look at that laser. That is literally like a laser shot. That is actually crazy. And Nagi's talking about how these guys believe they're at the center of the world. And Bachira and Otoya hit the sick ass celebration. I'm not gonna hold you. This is like an actual clean ass pose from both of them. What? That's way better than whatever this shit was. I don't know why Otoya's getting all this sauce. You know, like, you know what? I'm happy for all the 3 Otoya fans out there. I'm happy for you. You guys deserve this. This is all you guys. Chigiri, he's talking about how that goal was nuts, and who the fuck are you? Why are you out of all people telling Nagi to get it together? You do not exist. You are not a real human being. Like, can we kill this guy? But you know, Nagi being Nagi, he's still unbothered. He's just monologuing constantly over and over, and he's talking about like he's felt this way before. He knows what it feels like to be on top of the world, so he needs to find something again that'll help him get fired up to reach that again, or he'll never be able to hold his own. So he's asking himself, how does he do it? How does he get fired up? What is this new version of himself that will lead him to believing he's the best in the world? And it seems like he's lost. Just before anything climactic happens in his head, Rayo pulls up, and he's talking about, it sure is hard to get fired up just playing for the team. We're in a serious pinch. And Nagi's clearly surprised. And Rayo's sticking his tongue out like the chameleon, and he's excited. He's talking about how this rules. And Nagi's confused, like, what? But he's getting flashbacks to when Rayo first made him excited about playing soccer. And I'm not gonna hold you, this is probably my favorite panel from this chapter. We get a sick shot of Rayo standing tall, aura farming with that stank, with the chameleon on him, talking about if they smash the goal and turn things around, they're gonna be the center of the world. Hey, which is true. If they turn things around right here, from a 2-1 deficit, like, that's gonna be kind of crazy. And Nagi's thinking about how Rayo has gotten stronger, and Rayo's telling him, hey, isn't that enough to get fired up, Prodigy? And he's talking about if it means becoming the best in the world with you, gay. Rayo Mikage can change as much as he needs to. Like, that is actually such a hard line. Like, imagine being at rock bottom when one of your friends, like, literally picks you up telling you some shit like that. Like, it is impossible not to feel fired up from that. And Nagi, he acknowledges it, talking about how he's so strong, it's dazzling, gay. But hey, that's chapter 296, and you know, I have mixed opinions on this chapter. I really do. Content wise, like, it's solid. There's nothing bad that happens in this chapter. Like, this chapter is really good. I think easily the best part of it was focus on Isagi earlier with his original experience, that egoistic experience. Like, those 2 pages of commentary were very powerful and unique to this story. I don't think I've ever seen another manga perfectly encapsulate what it means to actually achieve a goal that truly feels individualistic and unique to yourself. Like, don't get me wrong, it is literally the shonen trademark to have an MC that wants to achieve like this almost impossible goal for themselves, but in the execution, like, it's very cliche and generic, and I don't know, I just never really buy into it fully. But with this, like, we have literally witnessed Sasagi fight tooth and nail hell and back for like almost 300 chapters now, and his philosophy and his character development has evolved so thoroughly throughout all of it. I feel so much more in these 2 pages than I do in any of these entire shonen mangas. And yeah, that's a hot take, sure, but it is one I genuinely believe in, and you can fight me for it. I don't care. You could try fighting me for it. You're wrong, but you could try fighting me for it. But do it in the comments, please. I beg you, fight me for it. And now we're mostly left with this Barcha and Manshine match, and don't get me wrong, it's good stuff. Like, we've seen this before. Like, in the 3rd selection, we've already had that match with Rayo and Nagi where they get a bit of focus for a couple chapters. Like, we've seen this before. This is nothing new. Like, obviously this match is gonna end and I assume like 2 to 3 chapters, if not less. It's not like we're gonna be here forever. I don't know. I just think like we've just come off the longest match in the entire series, so it just feels very weird to immediately be thrown into another match with a cast that is objectively far less stacked and far less important than the main characters like Isagi and Rin. So it is a bit anticlimactic, but I am invested in this Rayo and Nagi arc, and I do think it is cool seeing Bachira and Otoya pull off cool stuff. Otoya lesser so. I still don't know, like, are there Otoya fans out there? Like, Like, this can't be real. To top it all off, we have both of the most lackluster masters in the entire series accompanying this match. So I don't know, I'm just finding it very hard to get excited about it, but it is cool, and the writing is solid. It's not like the writing is bad by any means. And as for where the match is gonna go, like, it's Nagi and Reo. They don't fold. It's just, yeah, I don't see it. There's no way they fold. That's not gonna happen. I definitely feel like they'll clutch up. Barca, like, that they're objectively like one of the most dog shit teams. Like, I don't see them winning. And it's not like Bachira or OTOYA really have an active arc right now where like they need to win to prove something. Like, they're kind of just in it for the love of the game right now. Meanwhile, these guys, they really have something to prove, so I really do feel like they win. And if they don't, which I guess is the more interesting thing to talk about, if somehow Reo and Nagi lose this game, it's gonna be really bad for them, because it's either gonna be one or both of them that gets like put out of the top 23, like out of the World Cup team. And honestly, like, I don't know, like, I'm pretty sure Reo is lower ranked than Nagi. Let me do some double checking here. Okay, yeah, so Reo is at 34 million and Nagi's at 40 million, which is actually embarrassingly low for both of them. And I'm thinking, like, after this match, if they lose, I can actually see Reo being above Nagi in value, because they're only like 6 million away from each other. And objectively speaking, at least as of right now, Reo has put in a lot more work than Nagi has, because he's actually been a really good midfielder and putting in a bunch of passing work for them. If they somehow do lose this game, I can see Reo being the better option for the World Cup team than Nagi, and that's going to be really embarrassing for Nagi. But more importantly, I'm really curious as to how that'll affect his character, because I know we're all going to fly off to our clubs and shit, and all the characters are going to change, but what is that going to mean for Nagi? That his friend that he's been so much better than all this time is now the one on top of him. Pause. Wait, is now the one that's doing better than him. And I don't know, I just find that really fascinating to think about. You know, there's no guarantees. Part of me still does think that Nagi's gonna get a goal, and both of them are gonna be safe, and they're both gonna be on the World Cup team, because, you know, it's just Nagi's like a broken character. I just feel like it's staple to have him be on the team, but, you know, anything can happen. But yeah, I don't really have much else to say. Like, this wasn't a recap chapter per se, but not too many important things really happened, so, you know, just keep it nice and short. 297, maybe that's when we'll see some more action and things will get really crazy. You in the comments, let me know what you thought. Let me know if you liked the chapter, didn't like the chapter. Leave a comment below, like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.